Hello everyone. In this video, I will be using ALEKS again to demonstrate how can we get the inverse of a relation, how can we get the inverse of a function, and how can we use the composition of a function. So first of all, he's telling you the one-to-one functions G and H are defined as follows, and he gave you G as set of points, H as a function. And he's asking you that he would like you to find the G inverse of -9, H inverse of X, H inverse after H, all three. And this O, we took it as the composition of the function. So let me explain in details in each case what you should do. So let's focus here. Whenever you are having a set of points, all what you need to do to get the inverse is that you flip between the x and the y. So if your f of x, or here let's take g of x, was having x and y, that means your g inverse of x should be having points with y and x. So let's now write it again. Your g inverse of x will be all about, flip now, -4, -9, then -9, -4, 7 and 0, 3 and 4. And that's it, just to close it. Now let's go to the first question. He's telling you, I would like to have the G inverse of -9. That means your new input, your new x, should be in your G inverse. So he would like to know what is the output for this input. So let's go to the input of -9. So you will search, where is your input? That means, where is this value? Because your y now is your input. So this is your input. That means he would like to have the G inverse of -9. He would like to have your output. That means your answer should be -4. So all about the input and the output. You can think of it. So this is if you are having a relation. What if he gave you a function? We have to follow the same step. So h of x is equal 6x minus 13. You have to remove the h of x, put y equal 6x minus 13. And as we did, we will be switching between the x and the y. So your x will be here, 6y minus 13. And all what you need to do is that you should solve for y. That means you should keep it alone. So this will be by plus 13 plus 13. 6y is equal x plus 13. And now how can I get rid of the 6? You will divide both sides by 6. And here you are having binomial. You should divide by everything. Now your y, it's all about 1 over 6x, or x over 6, it will be the same, plus 13 over 6. And if you would like, lastly, to complete your solution, your y now, it will be your h inverse of x. 1 over 6, x plus 13 over 6, or you can leave it as it is, x plus 13 over 6. Depends on what you have in the multiple choice. You should know both ways. Great. Now lastly, let's see what do I mean by the composition. So whenever I'm having a composition like this, FOG and GOF. So let's focus on the first one, FOG. That means I will be cancelling the O and I will be putting my input for F is your G of X. This happens the same. The input of G of X, now F of X. So these are the composition. And previously we said that whenever you are having FOG and GOF of X, that means these two functions are inverses. So we already know that H inverse is the inverse of H and vice versa. That means, because we already know that H inverse is an inverse for H, so when we do this, we should get function of X only. That means whenever he gave you this equation, H inverse of H, you should put it again, substitute it, and if you got X, that means yes, they are inverses, and all what you need to do, go to this number and put it as it is, 3. And if you would like me to explain how can we substitute, I will be explaining here for you. So, in this question, the previous one, we found already our H inverse. We found it. So now, what is the key for this? We are having H inverse OH and let it be of X. That means all what you need to do is that your input for H inverse should be your H of X. So now go to the H inverse, take it as it is. Now your X will be changing. It will not be the normal X. It will be your H of X, the one you put it in the beginning. So it will be, let me write it in another color, 6x minus 13. And now if we substitute and if we simplify, this will be cancelled with this, and the 6 will be cancelled with the 6. Sorry. The 6 will be cancelled with the 6, and we will be left with X. That means whenever you are having a function and an inverse of this function and you would like to put them inside each other as a composition, you would be getting X to prove that they are inverses. And because he's asking you to find this value, which is 3, that means you will just substitute, remove the X and put a 3. Now let's put all our answers in ALEKS. So the first one, we agreed together that it is minus 4. This one, we agreed that it is 1 over 6x plus 13 over 6. And here we agreed that whenever you are having a function and an inverse, it will be having your X, which is, you will put it the same. Whenever you are done, just click on check. And that's it. If you have more questions, drop me a comment. Thank you so much.